In this lesson we will see some techniques that will allow us to have greater control over the layout of email signatures. This way, we will be able to create signatures with a more professional look, like this one. Note that one of the differences in this signature compared to the one we saw in the last lesson is that my photo has a rounded border. Obviously, this finish is optional. But if you want to leave your photo or logo with this finish, you can follow these procedures that I will show you before talking about the layout of the signature. To make the image border round, we will use Google Drawings. To do this, we will start by going to the Google Apps menu. And we will open Google Drive. Now we will click on the New button to create a new file. In this menu, we can choose what type of file we will create. To create or configure an illustration, we will click on the More submenu. And we will click on Google Drawings. Google Drawings is one of the applications available in your Google account. With it, we can create and edit simple drawings and images. To edit an image, we will open the Insert Image menu by clicking on this icon. And we will click on the Upload from Computer option. Choose the image you want to make round on your computer. And click Open. To make the image perfectly round, we will click on the image and drag it so that the edges of the image touch the edges of the illustration file. If you start moving the image carefully, you will see that the edges of the illustration turn red when you position the image next to the limits of the file. The next procedure is to make the size of the illustration file square, approximately the size of the crop you want. To change the size of the file, I just need to click on the lower right corner of the file area, which is the one with the checkered background. Then I will click and drag until the edge of the file is square around the area of the image that I want to appear in the crop. Now, to make the image round, we will click on the image. We will open the Crop menu by clicking on this icon. And we will click on Shapes. Here we can choose the shape that will be used to crop the image. For this example, I will click on the circle. This will crop the image into a circular shape. Now we can go to the File menu and click on Download. Here, it is important that we choose the PNG image format so that the background of the image is transparent. Now I will open the Downloads folder on my computer. And I will move the downloaded image to the Pictures folder to keep my files organized. And I will rename the image with a name of my choice. Now I can close the browser tab that has Google Drawings open. In the Google Drive tab, we will see that a Google Drawings file has been saved with the edition we created. If you want, you can delete this file. Now I can close Google Drive and go back to Gmail. Now, let's start working on editing the signature. For this, we will click on Settings. We will click on See All Settings. And we will go to the Signature section. As we can see, I still have here the simple signature that I created in the previous lesson. We don't need to delete this signature to create a new one. If we click on Create New, we can create a new signature without losing the previous one. I will call this signature Professional Signature. Now, let's see the problem with trying to do more advanced layout through this editing window. If I upload the image I just clicked on, set it to a small size, and start inserting the signature text. we will see that we don't have much control over the layout of the image and text through this editing window. What happens here is that the image occupies an entire line, and we can only put a single line of text next to this image. If we press Enter to create a paragraph, the next line of text will be created below the image. And with these limitations, we can't create more professional design variations, like in this example. What we need to be able to organize text and images with more design freedom is to use a table system. This Gmail signature editing window does not allow us to create or edit tables. But if we create a table in another application, we can copy the table and paste it ready-made into this space. So, I will erase this content that I created. I will go to the Google Applications menu. And I will open Google Drive again. Here, I will click on the New button. And I will click on Google Docs to create a new text document. Google Docs is the text editor of Google Drive. With it, we can write documents with a variety of text editing and layout tools. What we will do here is set up the email signature using Google Docs tools. And when everything is ready, we will simply copy the signature and paste it into the Gmail signature settings field. To start creating the signature, I will create a table. For this, I will go to the Insert menu. And I will open the Table submenu. Here, I can configure how many rows and columns the table will have. You can configure your table however you want. For this example, I will start with 1 row and 2 columns. So, I just need to select the first 2 squares in this way. This will create a table with 1 row and 2 columns. I will use the cells on the left to insert the image and the cell on the right to insert the rest of the signature. So, I will start by clicking on the left cell. I will go to the Insert Images menu. I will click on Upload from Computer. And I will choose the round image that we already edited. Here in Google Docs, I can edit the size of the image by clicking on it and clicking and dragging on one of the corners of the image. Now, I will drag the central divider close to the image. And I will type the text of my signature. I will only put the name and function. But you can put as much information as you see fit. At the top of the interface, we find the same text editing tools that we find in Gmail. So, I will put the signature name in bold. And I will change the color. In addition to personal information, I will show how we can add social media icons. To add these icons, just insert common images. For this, I will position the text cursor where I want to insert the icons. I will go to the Insert Images menu. And I will click on Upload from Computer. For this example, I will insert the Facebook and Instagram icons. These icons will be available for download along with this lesson. But if you want to use icons from other social networks, you can easily find these icons on various sites on the internet. One of these sites is iconfinder.com. Just search for social media or a specific icon. Check if the usage license is free for commercial use. And download the image. In my case, I will start by uploading the Facebook icon. If I want, I can resize the image to make it smaller. Now, I will give some spaces. And I will upload the Instagram icon. If I want, I can try to make both icons the same size using the transformation square. But I will hardly be able to make both images exactly the same size this way. So, a way to do this more accurately is to change the size of the images through parameters. For this, I will click on one of the images. When I do this, a small options window will open. I will click on the menu icon at the end of this window. And I will click on Size and Rotation. This will open a column on the right side of the interface with some image settings. In the Size field, I can numerically enter the size I want. For this example, I will leave the width and height at 0.3. Now, I can select the other image and enter exactly the same value. With that, the layout of the images and texts is practically ready. Now, I can just make some adjustments to the size of the table. I will drag the right border to make the table more compact. And I can drag the central divider to define the space between the image and the other elements of the signature. If you want, you can leave your signature with these table borders showing. But if you want to make the look cleaner, you can also leave these lines invisible. To do this, we will right-click on an empty space within the table. And we will click on the Table Properties option. This will open a column on the right side of the interface with some table settings. If we click on the Color menu, we can see some settings regarding the thickness and colors of the table borders. To make the borders invisible, we just need to click on this menu, which sets the border thickness, and put the thickness at 0 points. This way, the table becomes invisible and the elements are arranged in a very clean way. This is already an interesting layout, and many people like to use the signature this way. But some people like to leave a small vertical line between the image and the other elements of the signature. If we want to use this vertical line in the signature, we can use the table elements themselves. To show how to do this, I will temporarily make the table thickness 1 point again. Now, I will right-click on an empty space within the right cell of the table. And I will click on Insert Column Left. This will create another column to the left of the cell I clicked on. What I will do now is use this vertical line as the visible line of the signature. And I will use this empty cell to determine the space between the dividing line and the elements of the right cell. So, I can drag the dividers to determine these spaces. When doing this, think that this first divider will be visible at the end of the process. And the second divider is only used to determine the space of the visible divider for the text. Now, I will once again make the table line's thickness 0 points. But for the vertical line of the first divider to be visible, I will only change its thickness. For this, I will click on this divider. It may be a little difficult to do this with the invisible divider. But if we move the cursor over the signature, we can see that it changes shape when we pass over the dividers. So, just click on the divider. If it looks like this, it means it is selected. And when the divider is selected, we can go to the Border Width menu by clicking on this button. And we can set it to 1 point. If we want, we can also select the divider and change its color in this menu. With that, the signature is complete. Now we can select all the content of the signature. If you want, you can use the Ctrl+A shortcut to do this. Now, we can copy this content by right-clicking and clicking on Copy, or by using the Ctrl+C shortcut. Now, we can go back to the Browser tab where Gmail is open. And we can click on the signature editing window to paste the content we copied. But before pasting the content, I will press the Enter key once or twice. This will leave a predefined spacing before the signature. Now, I can use the Ctrl+V shortcut to paste the content I copied. With that, the content we created is inserted in the signature field. If you don't want to insert any links, the signature is ready. But in this case, I will show you how we can configure links for social media icons. To make these icons clickable links, we just need to select each of the images. Click on the link configuration button. Now, just type or paste the link of your social media in question. Do this separately for each of the links you are using. Now, just choose this new signature as the default signature in the For New Emails Use field. And in the On Reply, Forward Use field. And, if you prefer, leave the Insert Signature Before Quoted Text option active. Now, just click Save Changes. And your signature is ready. Now, whenever you click on Compose, or reply or forward a message, your email will be sent with a captivating and professional signature. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.